Hi, guys. Okay.
Hey, Jen.
I'm still up in Alaska, so I thought I'd do something on Alaska before I leave here. The pictures at top those are the Northern Lights just from a couple days ago. My tenant took those photos, so I thought I would share those with you. And then I took a little glimpse of where I am in relation to Tauro offices. It's about a 2.5 day drive, just to show logistically how far away we are. The thing about Alaska is it's a unique state. The second page of the handout, there's a intro on and I don't know how readable that is, but from the time that we purchased Alaska was purchased from Russia for $7.2 million back in 1867, became a state in 1959. And then they started discovering oil in the late 50s, 60s, built the oil and gas pipeline in the 70s. And then I actually moved up here in 92 or 93, and then did my first CMBS deal in 94. I guess I should just touch on the unique things about Alaska is it's very large in terms of land mass, but there's very few, very limited private land ownership. There are, in 1971, the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act was enacted. And through that, there are 22 regional Native corporations. I just tell you that now. And 174 Native Village corporations, 12 regional corporations. Those Native corporations are very, very lucrative. Some of them have more money than others. They do have a special 8A preference where they can just create a new company when one of their companies gets too big. They just create another ownership entity, another company, another division. So I've seen quite a few of those are like 51% owners in lower 48 construction companies to get the advantages afforded to them through the 8A preference. So I don't know what else to tell you. I brought CMBS up here, and I closed my first CMBS deal in 1994. And then we brought in more CMBS, and it became better known. That was a lot of hard work. We had to basically sell the market to the B-piece buyers because they were not willing to take on the foreclosure risk. And so that's what happened back then. Okay, there's been a slight outmigration in the last few years, which is getting better. Or they're trying to attract more people. Interestingly enough, it kind of started when I left in 2017. I'm just up here for a little bit, and I'll be back down in California again. But I'm sorry for the sporadic presentation. I just wanted to give some information on Alaska before I leave here.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
As far as lenders,
I'm sorry?
As far as lenders, are there, how many banks, or do real estate lending in the state?
That's a good question. Well, before I moved up, there was only National Bank of Alaska. National Bank of Alaska was the largest bank in the state. They actually became Wells Fargo. And since I've been up here, I've been to that building. They reduced their floor print to they're just one floor in a building now, and shipped out everything to the San Francisco office for the larger deals. There's still locally, though, there's credit unions, there's a couple of banks, just really a handful of lenders. And JJ Brooks and I did the first CMBS deal before he did. And then he and I were both at George Smith Partners and really kind of took over the market. But it took a lot of work to educate basically lenders on what the strengths were in this market and why it was okay to take on that risk. And so in answer to your question, Scott, there's still a limited pool of lenders. And so what I've been doing while I've been here is just reselling them to the local lenders, just basically the way I did it before too, is if there's a deal that looks like it's a fit for a national lender, but it's not with a local bank, I could be your resource. And so you're not losing a customer, you're actually gaining, it's another service that you offer your customer. I think we can do that probably in everywhere we go. So
you're saying there's out-migration. Other than the, the oil business, what is it, fishing? I mean, what's the main, was there job growth?
It's just been a slight out migration. It's typically when the lower 48 is booming, then the younger kids go out. I mean, it's interesting because it started around 2017, and that's when I left. So I'm sure it had something to do with it. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's funny because there's a show called Alaska Daily, and I just found I'm so interested in Alaska all of a sudden. There's been a couple things about it, so it must be topical.
What time zone are you in?
We're just an hour behind you
Okay. Not too terrible.
up here.
And the days are getting shorter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're very short. In fact, the sun just went up a little bit. I don't know if you can see my window. But I live at Alyeska, or my place here is at Alyeska, which is the ski resort. So you can see my window. You see it up there now. There it is.
Jan, I almost fell off that mountain once.
I think we can think of
Did
some
ya?
more.
Yeah, I got very lucky. I almost died. It was amazing and frightening.
Thanks, Jan. That was great.
All right, thanks.